Hello everyone and welcome back to another haul on this channel. Today is a somewhat different haul. I've spent several days filming this video because I had to wait in between orders, but I wanted to combine everything in one video, and that's because this haul is for more of a general type of plants. As the title suggests, today I want to show you some miniature orchids that I bought recently. And my interest in miniature orchids has definitely been sparked by Fernanda Nascimento Orchids and Succulents, who said she's really into seeking out smaller plants that can be accommodated in spaces of different size. And as you can tell, I live in a small apartment underneath the roof, so space is definitely an issue for me. And having a large orchid collection with huge specimen plants is just not very feasible for me right now. And so in an effort to kind of explore different ways of growing orchid, I've recently redone my orchid growing space, at least partially, and I'm also looking into, stocking my collection with plants that are easily taken care of, at least spatially, in my flat. And so I've been doing a little bit of research on this, kind of trying to figure out what miniature plants are out there, even like which ones are available. And so it turns out there are several genera actually that are interesting for people that are seeking out smaller plants. So usually my orchid collection is mainly Laelias, Cattleyas, and also Tolumnias. And like of these three groups, definitely the Tolumnia would be one that I would call a miniature orchid. And so from the beginning on, I've been focusing on these because you can have a lot of them, but they don't take a lot of space. And so kind of going off of Tolumnias, what other genera are there? And so I've seen like Ingracum, there are several small Ingracum species that are really attractive for someone who's looking for smaller orchids. Then if we stay with African orchids, you have Aerangis, which is also a potentially miniature genus. I have one Aerangis that I severely burned. But so, right, these are options. Then if you look further, there are small Bulbophyllums, there's small Laelias as well. Also some other genera that I feel like are maybe not talked about as much. And I'm also looking into those, like Ornithocephalus, for example, and so on. So I feel like this is kind of a ranty introduction, but I wanted to have this here to kind of explain where this haul is coming from and to explain the rationale that I have for the plants that I've chosen. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing what miniature orchids I have purchased lately, then stick around. Going through my wish list, there were quite a few mini orchids on it, and since I'm really low on space, mini orchids are the best ones to get. So I placed actually 3 different orders. As always, you can't just get mini orchids, you have to get other stuff as well. So I'm going to film separate videos for the bigger ones that I got and the minis. And today I want to start with the minis. Now, the first nursery that I want to address here is Hennis Orchideen. They're a nursery that's been around for over 100 years, and they're in northern Germany in Hildesheim. And they have some really interesting plants that you don't really see anywhere else. And so I picked up some plants from them. It's the first time I actually receive anything from them. And obviously to open the package, I need scissors. Dark Magic Gorge. How am I gonna open this actually? Who packaged this? Wilhelm, what are you doing? I'm pretty sure I opened it upside down, but this is what the package looks like. I love the shredded paper, and they wrapped it actually. Oh, this is so gruesome. They wrapped it in. I shouldn't laugh about this. This is yeah, I hope this isn't foreboding here, but oh no, oh Jesus. I thought these are actually announcements of death, but No, these are actually babies that were born. Ooh! Ooh, I mean, good for you, Eric and Marlena, for starting your life in 2012? 2013? I guess this is a blast from the past, Gorge. Anyways, let's just look at the plant. I got 2 punteiras, which is obviously Portuguese and means plant. And this is the first one. One of them is actually pretty rare. I haven't really seen it around elsewhere. As you can see, it wraps out to be very tiny. There isn't much left. And this is it. This is Epidendrum or Dyneema polybulbon. And this is a really interesting plant, which I've been made aware of actually by Hello Plant Lovers, linked up there. And I forget what the context was that he received this plant in, but he mentioned that it has a very nice fragrance of, I think he said, sandalwood. And when I did some research, apparently there are kind of scholars remain divided if it's actually sandalwood like or more like cloves. But anyways, it seems to be like a warm, spicy, potentially earthy, woodsy kind of fragrance, which I think is very unique. So obviously I had to get it. And it's tiny. It's a baby. These are the plants. Looks like these are just kind of cuttings of whatever bigger mother plant they had. I guess it hasn't bloomed before. I don't see the remnants of flower spikes or anything, but it looks to be like a very tiny kind of creeping plant with a longer rhizome in between the single bulb. I hope it's gonna follow its name and be very polybulbon very soon, and there's already a new growth coming, so that's nice. Very excited for this one. Then the next one, I already know which one it is. This should be a Laelia lundii. Yeah, let's see how big that one is. I have seen Laelia lundii be kind of bunched together with Rupiculus laelias. I don't know, I mean, Rupiculus laelias isn't really, Rupiculus laelia is not really like a taxonomy term. It describes more like a growing pattern or like an environment that plants grow in. So I don't know, Laelia lundii could be a Rupiculus laelia. For sure it's tiny, allegedly. Gorge. So much Piper. Piper. Ah! I already see little leaves. Can you see? Ooh, Jesus! Okay, so there we... Oh! Can you see this beautiful plump pseudobulb there? Gorgina. This is exactly what I love. Just like these plump round bulbs. It looks like I just want to bite into it. It looks like a wax grape, actually. My neighbors are gonna be like, Gorge, what are you doing again? There we go. So this is already an older plant, I guess. Hopefully this new growth is going to develop beautifully into a gorgeous blooming size growth, actually. So yeah, let's see. So interestingly, this media seems to contain some stones as well, so maybe it is Rupiculus. I don't know, like some little grit maybe. Okay, and then the next order is from Lucke Orchideen. I've bought from them already several times. These are not only small plants, so we'll kind of mention the other non-small plants in a different haul. Let's dig in. There you go. This is how Lucke presents their package, and they tell you here, Gorge, keep it closed for at least 12 hours. I actually had it sit here overnight, so I'm legitimately like the best boy ever. Oops. Instant karma, huh? Okay. Ugh, what a tacky wrapping paper. I'd rather see announcements of dead people. Okay, so this is the tiny orchid I ordered from Lucke, and the other two will come in a different video. Oh, this smells a little fungi. Ooh! Now that is not tiny. This is not tiny. This is a Leptotes bicolor, and I got this because Miss Orchid Girl kept ranting about it. So I'm like, okay, Gorge, I'll get it. Jesus. No need to force me to buy all of this stuff. So I guess it's not all only Fernanda's fault, but I would like to blame mainly Fernanda for this order. So this actually looks to me a little bit like a mini brassivola, doesn't it? It's so cute. And you can see there are already some kind of spent flower spikes. So this is definitely a blooming sized plant. Let's see. Smells okay. Usually Lucke has always sent me kind of freshly repotted plants. This one seems to be pretty much pot bound, and there is like a little, I guess, mesh pot inside a bigger pot. Not sure why they do this. What's the reason for this? Does this plant need this? Like, why? Hello? But yeah, like you can see lots of roots and most of them look fine. Maybe there are some in there that aren't super amazing, like this one here, but really happy with this. I feel like I'm probably just gonna plant this whole thing into a bigger pot right away. I'm probably not even gonna bother with trying to get it out of this because the media is pretty fresh. I think the fungal scent was really the paper that it came wrapped in that maybe got a little damp during transport. So yeah, really nice. It's just dangling in every direction. And ooh, is that a shade? I'm not sure. It looks like to me there might be some sheaths actually, so exciting. Oof, now I know why they have it in this. Helps it to balance a little bit. And just a few days later, the next package arrived. This is from Orchids&More. It's a German orchid nursery that I really like. They're a bit controversial because to them communication is silence, but they still usually do what you ask for, so I really appreciate that. Except for the one time when I asked them if they had the Cattleya walkeriana semi-alba that I was really into, and then they didn't reply at all, because duh. And so they sent me a Cattleya mossiae semi-alba instead, but Gorge, I'm not going to fight them. That is a beautiful plant, and it really made me look into mossiae, and maybe that is actually one of my favorite Cattleyas now. Let's see when it blooms. Anyways, tangent. This is the package, and let's just look into it, huh? And again, there are plants in here that are kind of tiny mini ones, and there are some in there that are just wish list plants. So we had a nice heat pack in here because, you know, tropical plants, and they're whiny. Ooh, it's a little moist in here. Okay, first things first. This is Laelia vasconcelosiana, which I literally just bought for its name because, I don't know, like if you know me in my personal life, I like to be very creative with language. Like if I talk to people and they speak a language I don't know, I like to kind of pick up the patterns from their language and then use it against them. So, for example, now vasconcelosiana. This is how I would speak Portuguese. I'll just take a French or English or German, for that matter, word and just pronounce it pseudo-Portuguese, put os or ment or something in the end, boom, voila. And this name, vasconcelosiana, is almost 100% there if it was vasconcelosiana ment. So I don't care what this plant looks like. It's a ridiculous Laelia. I just had to get it just for the comedic value. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Okay, next we have this one. Okay, the next one we have is this one, and this is Erycina crista-galli. This is, I guess, just tiny Oncidium alliance orchid. I've had my eyes on Zygomorphis priscilla, and which is sometimes also called Erycina priscilla. So I guess they're potentially related to each other, but this is just kind of a group of tiny little orchids that have like oncidium-like flowers, and I'm just really interested in trying it out. This one is mounted, so obviously I'm not going to be able to grow it like this. I'll just have to come up with a setup for it, but it's a tiny orchid and it kind of fits what I'm looking for. And I'm also trying to expand, venture into other plants. Looking at the growth habit and the leaf structure and everything, it reminds me a little bit of the Comparadia speciosa that I had, and it withered off when the temperatures rose above 25 degrees outside. So let's see if I can keep this one alive. Then we have this one. This one is another plant I've been really interested in. This is Laelia eyermaniana. I really wanted this because this is a natural hybrid of Laelia speciosa and some other Laelia. Laelia speciosa, of course, is the type species of the genus Laelia. So I'm really interested in having that in my collection. But yeah, it's kind of difficult to find here. So I went for this one instead. And it looks really cute. Again, this one's probably going to be potted up. Next one we have here is Bulbophyllum barbigerum. This is a tiny little Bulbophyllum. I have only one Bulbophyllum so far. This is the plumatum, which is just sitting here for now because I want to make a video about it at some later point. But anyways, this is the barbigerum, which is a tiny little Bulbophyllum. And the flowers look really cute, and I just hope it's not fragrant. Fragrant, right? Because Bulbophyllums are usually pollinated by flies, and flies like things that stink. So, sometimes it's a little difficult to find out online what the fragrance is going to be, so whoopsie. Then, oh my god, so many of these plants are mounted. Let's see, maybe I'll do a video on mounting all of them. That's gonna be rough. Anyways, this one is another Leptotes. This one is Leptotes pohlitinocoi? Pohlitinocoi. This is Leptotes pohlitinocoi. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled. And you can see it has like these little succulent, almost needle-like growths. Really interested to see how this one is going to do. They had another Leptotes as well, because earlier in this video I would have unboxed the Leptotes bicolor. They had another one which looked a lot like the bicolor, and then I had this one which is a little different, so I went for this one, and it's tiny. We like that. And we have this one. This is, oh, and we're in Spike Gorge. Hey, how are you, Gorge? That's Gorge. This is, I guess, this way around. This is Aerangis fastuosa. I have the articulata with the kind of orangey brownish root tips, which I really like. And this is the fastuosa, and it's in spike, so that's really interesting. Let's see if these flowers are going to stay on, and maybe I shouldn't unmount it then quite yet, but no, mounted plants they usually don't fare that well for me because it's very dry here, and I don't like to pay attention to my plants too much over the week. So I don't know, maybe tell me in the comments how to deal with this, because I've learned from the articulata that it wants to stay hydrated, and it also hates to get too much light. Like I'll show you. Yeah, turns out they don't like that much light. Turns out it's not a Cattleya. So yeah, anyways, I learned from this mistake, and we'll keep this one out of the light. I was just like, oh, you're so dark green. That's not healthy, but yeah, it's not a Cattleya, right? So yeah. But as you can see, this is kind of this orangey brown root tip that I was talking about. I really like that feature of the plant, and really interested to see how this one is going to do. And with spikes, that's even more exciting. Oof! Another one that's mounted. I don't know, like I thought they're gonna be potted. Are all tiny orchids mounted? Maybe. Anyways, this is the Ornithocephalus bicornis, and I really like the growth habit of these fans. It's almost a little bit like the Ingracum leonis, which I also have. And oh, look, there's also a spike on this one. 2 spikes. Oh, beautiful. Really excited. Probably also not gonna be unmounted then, but yeah, I think Miss Orchid Girl has this one, and she has it in a cloche. I feel like that would be a little too gauche for me, so I'll just have to try and figure out a different way to grow it. Maybe some of these could, if they need really a lot of humidity, maybe some of them could move into the terrarium with my nepenthes. Let's see. It's pretty dark in there though. I don't know. Let me know in the comments how to, like, because these are completely new plants, right? I usually grow like Laelias, Cattleyas, Tolumnias is kind of what my collection is. So all of these plants are very kind of out there for me. So let's see. Hey, and then speaking of Tolumnias, this is Tolumnia Orange-Red, which is a very descriptive name, I guess. Nomen est omen. You can see this has a dried up spike on it, so this is a blooming sized plant. Again, this is going to be unmounted for sure. My Tolumnias do not grow on, I don't know, styrofoam slabs that are made to look like they're wood. But yes, really excited. Of course, you can't have a mini orchid haul without having a Tolumnia in it. So yeah, I don't know. This is a variety of different genera, right? I've had some Leptotes, Laelia, Bulbophyllum, some maybe more out there plants like the Aerangis, which is very out there for me, and the Ornithocephalus, which is that like a bird's head, like right? Because if my Greek doesn't fail me, this is kind of what it would refer to. It looks more like a peacock to me, but I guess peacocks have heads too. Yeah, but I think Tolumnias are definitely a very safe plant for me to get, so I know how to take care of those, unless they're species. This is my mini orchid haul. Maybe I can inspire some of you to try out some new genera that are different. This is definitely gonna put me out of my comfort zone a lot, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to see how they're gonna do and so on. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll unpack the rest of these plants in the other haul that's coming up later. So yeah, until then, talk to you later.